What would you do if the woman you loved, the mother of your children, the one you swore forever to, was secretly living a double life, tearing your world apart thread by thread? I never thought I would be asking myself that question. Not after 15 years of marriage, not after building a life in a quiet Dallas suburb, not after all the sacrifices. The night everything broke was a Tuesday, 2 a.m., the glow of her phone screen illuminating her face in the dark bedroom. A text message, a name I didn't recognize, and a heart emoji. My heart, however, was not glowing. It was shattering into a million icy shards. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The humiliation started subtly, a creeping vine of doubt wrapping around my sanity. Sarah, my wife, had always been meticulous, almost obsessively so. But then, little things began to slip. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, was now always clutched tight, face down. Late nights at work events became more frequent, her explanations increasingly vague, laced with a defensiveness that pricked at my gut. I tried to ignore it, to rationalize, to believe in the woman I thought I knew. But the truth, like a persistent whisper, refused to be silenced. One evening, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed with a notification. A text from Alex. My hands trembled as I picked it up. "Can't wait for our weekend in Miami, baby. Miss you, Miami." She had told me she was going to a women's retreat in Austin. The blood drained from my face, leaving a cold, hollow ache. The retreat was a lie. Alex was not a colleague. Alex was the man who was systematically dismantling my life. Sarah, once warm and affectionate, transformed into a cold, manipulative stranger. Her eyes, once full of love, now held a calculating glint. She'd snap at me for trivial things, pick fights, and then retreat into a shell of self-pity, making me feel like the problem. She was building a wall, brick by brick, between us. And I was trapped on the wrong side, watching her construct her new life with someone else. The pain was a physical entity, a constant pressure on my chest, making it hard to breathe, hard to think. I felt like a fool, a cuckold, a broken man. I spent weeks in a fog, going through the motions, a ghost in my own home. But beneath the despair, a cold, hard resolve began to form. I wasn't just going to let her walk away, not after everything, not after she had so casually discarded our 15 years, our children's innocence, my very soul. I started gathering proof meticulously, silently. I hired a private investigator, a discreet man named Frank, from a small office in downtown Chicago, who specialized in marital infidelity. He provided me with photos, hotel receipts from the Fontainebleau Miami Beach, flight manifests, and recordings of phone calls. Each piece of evidence was a fresh stab, but also a weapon. I set legal and social traps, carefully, patiently. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a sharp woman named Evelyn Reed, whose reputation for ruthlessness preceded her. We discussed asset division, child custody, and the legal implications of her infidelity. I also started subtly reaching out to mutual friends, planting seeds of doubt, not outright accusations, but enough to make them question Sarah's sudden aloofness. I wanted her isolated, exposed, with nowhere to hide. The public exposure happened at a charity gala, a glittering event at the Beverly Wilshire in Los Angeles, one Sarah had insisted we attend. Radiant, oblivious, mingling with the city's elite, her arm linked with mine. A perfect picture of marital bliss. I had arranged for Alex, her affair partner, to be there. He was a smug, self-satisfied real estate developer from New York who thought he was untouchable. As Sarah was mid-conversation with a prominent judge, her phone rang. It was Alex's pregnant mistress, a young woman named Chloe, who had also been wronged by him. I had orchestrated their meeting, their shared pain, a powerful catalyst. Chloe, tears streaming down her face, walked directly up to Sarah, her voice trembling but clear. "You're the other woman, Sarah. He told me you were just a friend." Sarah's face went pale, the color draining from her cheeks as if she'd seen a ghost. The murmurs started, then the whispers, then the outright stares. Her carefully constructed facade crumbled, revealing the ugly truth beneath. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. With the overwhelming evidence I had gathered, Sarah lost everything. The house, the substantial alimony she expected, even significant custody of our children. Her reputation, once pristine, was in tatters. Friends vanished, business associates distanced themselves, and the social circles she so desperately craved closed their doors. She was completely ruined, a pariah in the very society she had so desperately tried to impress. I watched her from afar, a quiet observer of the wreckage she had created. There was no triumph, no joy, just a profound emptiness. The revenge was complete, but it hadn't brought back the man I was, or the life we had. It was just quiet, cold. The silence that followed was deafening. The end.